Okay, here's another thing tonight. We have not hit on this. Johni Broome's run ends. Bruce Pearl, maybe not maybe, his best shot to win a title?
Sure, absolutely.
Over. That you could see, we walked by the locker room. He had still not spoken to the team. He was having a hard time. And you got to walk with Johni Broome. What was that like?
Yeah, he couldn't say much. You know, he just kind of listened to me, and I've spent a lot of time around this kid lately, and I really didn't know him until recently. And I'll tell you, I've fallen in love with this Auburn team this season. They're just a fun group that had unbelievable chemistry. Johni Broome going from Morehead State, not even recruited high at Morehead State, to turning into, you know, what we named him as a co-national player of the year. Mm-hmm. It's an incredible story. They were the dominant team for 90% of the season this year. And to end this way, you know, Johni misses 2 big free throws at the end of the game. Huge. I'm not sure they win the game, but certainly I think it comes down to the final possession or two. You know, again, he was distraught. You could tell because, again, same thing. He realized they were up what were they, up 8-9 at one point, and they had a chance to kind of push it to 12, 14, and maybe put Florida away, and they were never able to do that. In the second half, Johni was fairly ineffective, and that's what a lot of you guys, you know, we all ask is, like, how healthy was he?
I thought that it was telling. In the first half, I think the story of the first half was Florida could not stop Johni Broome one-on-one.
Nope.
And we talked about it.
Killing.
We talked about it all week, right? If you want to be able to beat Auburn, what you do is you kind of shut the water off for everyone else. Let Johni try to beat you with one-on-one with post-ups. He was able to back everyone down and go score. They ran all these different actions for him and got him seals right around the bucket where he had to catch it and lay it in. He had a little jumper to start off the game. Yep. Like he looked like first-team All-American National Player of the Year, Johni Broome. And at halftime, Carlin Hartman, the assistant coach at Florida, the whole staff is back to drill. You know how this goes, right? The staff goes back to the players are in there. Yep. They can kind of talk. The head coach and the assistants kind of talk, like, how do we want to approach this? So they're having that meeting. And Todd Golden told us he heard a noise in the locker room, and he's like, where'd Carlin go? Carlin's in there, and he is cussing him out. And he is challenging Ruben Chinielu's manhood. And he's telling Alex Condon, we probably can't repeat what he said, 100%. But he said, if you want to go home, then keep playing the way that you just played. And they came out. Auburn scored 46 points on 32 possessions in the first half. They scored 12 points in the first 12 minutes of the second half.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah. And they stuck to their principles, one-on-one against Broome.
No, and I thought the amazing part of that too, Rob, was that, number one, I thought Florida did a good job and that they had a great matchup with their size for Broome. Yes. He struggles against guys with a lot of length, but I also, and Connor and Trevor were probably tired of me tapping them during the game because I was so into it. But I kept telling them, like, one of the big things with a guy like that, and Jeff kind of spoke to it earlier, like, he's a rugged guy. Like, he doesn't beat you with athleticism. He's boom, boom. It's like, you know, somebody driving a truck over your chest every time he tries to back you down. And the hard part of that becomes not just the initial shot, but trying to find him and get the offensive rebound after. And I thought that's what they did a really good job of in the first half. The thing where I felt turned this game and just Auburn all year, Pettiford. I felt like this may have been a little too much for him.
Couldn't agree with you more.
But I also felt like he was the only other guy on that team. When things break down, he's the one other guy that can go get a basket.
Yes.
He can go stop the bleeding for you and make a step back three or get to the rim.
I mean, Baker Mazara made one. We don't know if he left the ground. Did he definitely?
He did.
Yeah, 100%.
I thought he tried.
But you know what's interesting to your point? If you look at the two teams that lost these games tonight, at the end of the day, their guard play was not good enough. Proctor and James ultimately struggled in this game tonight if you look at the final numbers. And for Auburn and Florida, Florida's down 9. I thought it was very indicative of their season that the 11-0 run started and ended with Clayton. But in the middle, Richard and Martin were both supplying buckets too. Elijah Martin, you can't say enough about this kid. He's a winner, man.
He's so tough, and it wasn't just the buckets, right? I think you alluded to someone alluded to it. Will Richard had an offensive rebound and one putback early in the second half. Then there were 3 defensive plays he made. He had a steal. He came up with a loose ball, and then he snagged a rebound in traffic out of nowhere to end a possession. Like those toughness plays, won them possessions, got them points. That set a tone. Alex Condon played like crap. Right, like he was not good. He was not the guy that we thought he was going to be. He had a bad game. At the end, he drew the charge on Johni Broome. He had a play down at the other end where he kept the ball. Like he made hustle plays
that they
didn't.
They got good players. The beauty of their team. While Walter Clayton gets almost all of the accolades, every guy in their team, and they can also afford a guy like Alex Condon to have a shitty first half like he did and still be okay.